Okay, I've gotten to a point where I've got things cleaned up pretty good. What I want to do though is I want to spray my piston and cylinder with brake clean really good and clean it all off. I have arranged these in such a way that what I have is a PTO cylinder, a center cylinder, and a mag cylinder. I have the pistons that came from the cylinders. I've checked them over. I've taken the rings off. You can roll these rings. The first one will come off relatively easy. The second one you have to roll onto the first lands unless you have a miniature little ring expander, and the only ring expander I have is for a big engine, so I'm just going to roll these on with my own finger. And then the bearing that rode in the same pin. You want to try to keep the parts together. I have a clip, a circlip in this side. As you can see, the arrow is pointing this way. So when I assemble this, I will have the pin sticking out here. The clip will be in this side. I will put the bearing in the rod. Then I'll be able to push the pin through. When you push, I can't tell you this enough. Don't use a screwdriver because a screwdriver will scratch. It's a tool. It's a machine steel, and it will easily scratch the aluminum. It'll scratch the surface on the inside of this pin where the housing or the pin goes through the piston. I've fashioned to myself just an old stick out of it's a piece of pine, and it fits nicely in the pin, and I'm able to push it through without too much trouble. So that's the best way to do is drive that home. Now, as you see, the surface I'm working with right now is dirty. There's pieces of gasket, little bits of metal and whatnot all over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this towel off, because this was a different area that I was working with, and underneath it's another towel. Well, I'm going to put down some paper towel, because cleanliness is your friend here. You want things clean and no grit or dirt or metal pieces, hence the brake cleaner we're going to clean the parts with. When we assemble, we're going to liberally lubricate the cylinder with some Technoplate or whatever oil you're using, or or some Castrol or some whatever you want to use. Whatever your snowmobile oil is. But I'm using Klotz Technoplate. Now I'm going to lubricate that the pin, and I'm going to lubricate the ring lands, and I'm going to lubricate the cylinder. And so when I slide the rings in there, everything's going to slide in there really nice. And then I'm going to wrap these up in some paper towel because they're clean, and I'm going to set them in that box, and I'm going to cover the box. That way when I go to set this thing together, the parts will be clean and in order. I'm going to assemble my cylinder upside down like this. And remember, our arrow goes this way. So if we pull the engine upside down like this, we'd also turn the piston upside down as long as the arrow is going in the right way. And I'm going to put my rings in here like this because I'm going to be able to squeeze them with my finger and be able to get them past that. They're going to slide in there, and then they're going to push in there pretty hard, but it's not going to be like you have to drive them in with a hammer. If you have to do that, something's wrong. You probably ruined the ring already. Remember, they must go. There's indexing pins on the ring, or in the ring lands on the piston, and they must go in there. And there's a microscopic little letter, and I looked at that closer. It's not a T, it's an N. So whatever that stands for. But the letter means it goes up. So it's going to go up on the piston like this, not this way. It's going to go this way if the letter is here. Does that make sense to you? I hope so. Okay, let me get these together and I'll show you what I have. And I'll get them together and I'll show you how nice and clean and beautiful everything looks when I get it finished.